to Rob Schmitt tonight. In June 2016, an ISIS-devoted psychopath named Omar Mateen killed 49 people at a gay nightclub in Orlando, Florida. The Pulse massacre was one of the most horrific mass shootings anyone had ever witnessed. It was horrifying. The entire nation mourned the heinous crimes committed by yet another radical Islamic terrorist. A narrative that the left hated to focus on, a phrase Obama wouldn't even say, no matter how commonplace it had become at the time. So for the Pulse story, the focus quickly turned away from radical Islamic terrorism to anti-gay hatred, which could be easily spun into a criticism of conservatives, a story much easier to endlessly analyze and exploit by the people who control the media in this country. The Pulse nightclub shooting has, of course, become the pinnacle of anti-gay hate for America's LGBTQ activists. And ironically, the narrative created is likely not even true. Evidence quite clearly indicates Muslim ISIS loyalist Omar Mateen, who killed 49, had no idea he was even shooting up a gay club. From the liberal Huffington Post, even prosecutors acknowledged in their closing statement that Pulse was not his original target. It was the Disney Springs shopping and entertainment complex. He wanted to kill kids. They presented evidence demonstrating that Mateen chose Pulse randomly less than an hour before the attack. It's not clear he even knew it was a gay bar. A security guard recalled Mateen asking, "Where are all the women?" apparently in earnest in the minutes before he began his slaughter. The Huffington Post angered its base that day with those facts. The reality of the Pulse shooting is a very inconvenient truth for the left. To this day, they still point to it as a symbol of America's hatred for LGBTQ people, when in reality it appears it was anything but. Their narrative recklessly in search of validation, willing to accept lies to further itself. Over the weekend, a shooting at a gay bar in Colorado left 5 innocent people dead, another tragedy which again has been instantly politicized.
Right-wing grifters, including politicians like Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott, they've been spewing this vile, hateful rhetoric about LGBTQ people.
I think that DeSantis, Boebert, they have blood on their hands on this. They have to stop spreading lies. These are lies that they're spreading, and they're causing pain and death and murder against our community.
This has been fueled by a lot of people being emboldened by our former president. He has made it so that people can say whatever they want to say and think there's no consequences to that.
Now, you could have predicted this kind of coverage because, again, it feeds their preferred narrative that the LGBTQ community is under assault and, of course, Republicans are at fault. We don't know the motive at this point. 22-year-old Anderson Lee Aldrich was a sick young man, we know that, who should have been locked up after threatening to blow up the house his mother was staying in. That's him dealing with the SWAT team. Unfortunately, for the 5 who were killed on Saturday, the district attorney in Colorado Springs is a woke liberal, a problem we run into time and time again. And so Anderson Aldrich was free to kill 5 people after threatening to blow up a house. Whether his motive was anti-gay or not, nobody is going to be surprised either way at this point. There is admittedly much anti-gay hatred in this world. The World Cup right now is being played in a country where homosexuality is still illegal. But the narrative that's emerging after this tragedy is by far the most insidious that we've seen. A shooting with no known motive already being blamed on people who are fighting back against the left's most outlandish perversions of late, such as people uncomfortable with transgenders exposing their nude bodies to little kids. Stuff like that right there. How horrific is that? Or the shocking escalation of child grooming we're seeing in this country. Perverted material in public school classrooms. LGBTQ teachers talking about sex with very young children for seemingly no reason. California reducing the penalty for sex crimes with kids for seemingly no reason. And woke hospitals carving up confused children and destroying their natural bodies. Ask yourself how any of this has become mainstream and acceptable so fast. Why can a person identify as trans and immediately be allowed to show their nude bodies to little kids and actively sexualize them? That is a topless man right there, or woman, maybe fake, I'm not sure. Why are hospitals surgically altering confused kids to satisfy a woke checklist? Why is any of this happening? They're now telling you we must accept this country's descent into chaos involving our own kids, We must embrace it because calling this insanity out right here, videos like this, calling that out is dangerous for the queer community. Take a listen to this NBC reporter's miserable attempt to gaslight Americans about what's really happening in this country. And as he talks, we're going to play actual videos that they're actively trying to prevent you from seeing.
All ages drag brunch, which is probably the #1 target of these anti-LGBTQ events recently. Like, for example, the Proud Boys will go and protest any drag brunch, any drag story hour, anything that a child might go to meet a drag queen, not, just to show them that they're human beings and people. They go there and they read Dr. Seuss there. They read regular books, but it's read by a drag queen, and they have breakfast. It is not some hypersexual event, but that's what it's viewed as on the far right.
Not some hypersexualized event. They're just naked. So they're lying to you about what's happening in this country. There's a perversion on full display. We all see it. Everyone sees it. The only people pretending not to see it are the people in the media. And their answer is to censor reality. Here's a tweet from an NBC reporter. Hateful and violent online rhetoric targeting LGBTQ people has been ratcheting up for months. Now, just hours after a deadly mass shooting at Club Q, the worst of these hate accounts, Libs of TikTok, is targeting another drag event in Colorado. Libs of TikTok does nothing except just show people videos of things that are actually happening. That is now hate, by the way. So people shouldn't be able to see a naked transgender female with fake breasts dancing in front of a confused 6-year-old, because seeing that might anger people, and that anger could lead to a shooting at a gay bar. The left's logic on this matter is a whimsical ride into the land of delusion and Soviet-style censorship, but you probably expected that. And again, we haven't even proven the motive for the Colorado bar shooting, but it could have been anti-gay hate. Let's just say it was anger over these perversions. Let's say that's what it is. So what's easier in the wake of that? Banning real videos of actual things that perverse people are doing with kids? Do we ban those videos from existing? Or do you ban this completely illogical LGBTQ appeasement that we're seeing? And it's not appeasing all of the LGBTQ community. Many of them see videos like we've just shown you and say this is ridiculous. It is outrageous. This is a small subsection of society that are doing these perverted things. Do you want to end the videos, or should we end the appeasement of the people that are doing these perverse things? Ending what we all know is insane, even though it might offend, again, a very small subsection of the queer community, which, of course, is an endlessly offended and victimized class to begin with. No more, say, nude pole dancing with kids, no more nude trans story hour, no more child mutilation at hospitals. Which should we do? Naturally, they're going to say censorship is the best answer, because the media and all major institutions and corporate entities and major hospitals are now so scared of the far left that they have to appear to be culturally accepting in order to be safe from the mob. And that's why all of this is happening. It's all fear. They're afraid they're going to be labeled as unwoke, as bad people, as intolerant. Because in America, it's far easier to harm children than it is to offend a protected class.